members, and welcome to Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And welcome to our review of The Old Guard.
Yep.
This is the newest thing to come out on Netflix. They're keeping us highly entertained while we are not allowed to go out into the world.
We don't have any new movies to watch, so we'll watch like movies in the actual movie theater. So we'll watch new movies on Netflix.
Yeah. This one was interesting. This one kind of because it's Netflix. They talked about this on SCN Live today. They don't. Netflix doesn't typically do big advertising pushes for stuff.
Right.
Months and months ahead of time, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's like Stranger Things or something like something big for them.
Sabrina,
that kind of thing. But typically something drops, there'll be rumblings or at least some information about a month or month and a half out, and then they give us a trailer 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
And then so I happened to see the trailer, but she had missed it, and we didn't do a trailer reaction to it, which was kind of our fault.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I get a lot of trailers from Netflix.
That's true, because they're just adding content every 5 minutes.
Yeah, my phone's going off constantly.
So this was one of those ones that we really didn't know was coming too much until I said, "Hey, the Old Guard is coming out on Friday. We should watch it." And she's like, "What's Old Guard?" And we watched the trailer. Finally, she watched the trailer finally, and it's Charlize Theron, and it's badasses kicking ass with swords and guns and stuff, and it was like, oh, okay, let's give this a shot.
Yep.
Pleasantly, happily, surprisingly, really good.
Yeah, really good. Yeah. We both, like, when it was over, were like, next and more, please.
We both.
Yep.
We both want a lot more from the series, and from what I've heard from the reaction over the weekend and today, we watched it Friday, and we're waiting until Monday to do our reaction to it, because I think we wanted to sit on it a little bit too, because we haven't had a whole lot of movies, so we don't know if we love this movie because because our standard is stuff we've watched 17 times,
right?
And so we sat on it a little bit, but.
Everybody on my Facebook was like, "Oh my God, Old Guard is amazing!" And so,
this movie was based off of a comic, graphic novel by Greg Rucka, and I just had it up. Leonardo, he called him Leo today. Leonardo Fernandez, and Greg wrote it. Leo drew it. And I have not read the comic. I didn't even know it was a comic until I started doing some research about what this was. And now I'm super interested because I listened to a long interview today that he had with Kevin Smith, that Greg Rucka had with Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin on Fat Man Beyond. And while we were watching the movie, they were doing the live stream with Greg, so we couldn't watch it. But he specifically talked about how this is very different from, it's not super different, but it's different enough from the comic, partly because some of the stuff that they do in the comic, they just can't do in movies.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
Right. Or at least on a Netflix movie budget.
Well, apparently the budget for this was like $100 million.
Wow. Okay.
So Netflix put some money into this.
Yeah.
Or Sundance put some money into this and then sold it to Netflix.
Yeah.
Which might have been, foreshadowing, because I don't know how this would have done over the summer. Like, the summer was packed with stuff. Mulan and Top Gun and Black Widow and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering how this would have done. So this landing on Netflix, and everybody's been talking about it. And Greg even said today that we got lucky with the whole thought process of putting it on a streaming service when nobody can go anywhere. So so more people were watching it out of that.
But, everybody watched it. Yeah.
But he was the sole screenwriter on the movie as well.
Oh, wow.
And that never happens.
Yeah.
And he talked about in that interview about how when they were on set that they Charlize would say something like, there's a scene in the book, there's a big hallway scene, a staircase scene that Andy who's played by Charlize Theron, does in the comic when she's kind of wading through a bunch of people and stuff. And Charlize sat down with them and said, I just did this thing based off of a comic with a long one shot and a staircase.
A stairway.
And Greg was like, oh, let me fix that. And so, stuff like that. So knowing that there was that kind of passion behind it by both the original creator and the screenwriter and the cast and the producers.
Yeah. And good on her too, to have the, not saying she's stupid, but just to have the forethought that the audience might feel it was another Atomic Blonde. Right. So to be like, I actually just did this, and people are going to be like, even though, I mean, it's very different, right? Her backstory, who she is, why she is, and all that is very different. Yeah. For her to take on that kind of a shot, a stunt, whatever would probably
be a little bit much. And they ended up turning that scene into the church scene. Which is really cool. Like I like the way they did the church scene. Charlize Theron is amazing in this movie, playing the old soul.
Yeah.
So the premise of the movie, not non-spoilers, it's been in the trailers, so it's not really a spoiler. But the premise of the movie is there are 4 immortal. They use the word immortals, but they're not really immortal. They're more.
They just live a really long time.
They can come back to life, but eventually that thing goes
Wears
away,
out,
or whatever. But she's the oldest of them, and she is dealing. And Andy very much is at this point in her life where she's given up on everything.
Yeah, she's over it.
And she's
killing everybody, and I mean, you do find out that that's not all she's done. Like, she's not going around just killing people willy-nilly, but I mean, and you see that over and over again with storylines where people are living basically forever. Just top of my head, me and Doctor Who, right? That you live so long that you just kind of run out of things to do that give you any kind of enjoyment or excitement or whatever. So
you're kind of watching people that you love die.
Right. You can't have any attachments.
And so you just finally get numb to all of it.
Yeah.
And Andy is very much this. She's become numb to everything that they've ever done. And they have a new person
happens,
and I like how they
is born because she died.
Yeah, it's they left that part of Niall, who is played by Kitty Lane, who
Kiki.
Did I say Kitty?
Yeah.
Kiki Lane. It's way over there in small print, but she. Plays a Marine, gets killed in action, that kind of thing. And so I like how they kind of leave it like they don't know why this works. They don't know why they have this
definitely doesn't
ability.
Happen very often.
It doesn't happen very often, and they don't know when it will end either.
Right.
They know it will end. This resurrection ability will end at some point in time, but they don't know when and they don't know why. So I like how that's kind of left to your imagination to kind of figure out what you're going to do and stuff.
Yeah. They definitely didn't spend a whole lot of time going into backstory, even with Charlize Theron's character. They asked a couple times, how old she was, where she was from, and they really never answered that. You get the impression she's like
Greek, Roman,
Egyptian,
or something.
old, like goddess, that kind of thing.
Athena, something like that was what she introduced herself, but she said, "You can call me Andy."
Yeah,
kind of thing. A couple of things that I really. I really like the movie, but a couple of things specifically that I really liked was the idea that they have adapted over the years.
Right.
So you have a tech guy. The tech guy has only been with the group for 200 years.
Right.
But he's the tech guy, and so he understands, Google foo
Yeah.
and like surveillance and stuff like that,
Yep.
and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But yet they all are prolific with all kinds of different guns and
Right.
a bazooka and
Right.
stuff like that. But yet they also all have swords.
Right.
And when, because swords never run out of bullets. We learned that
Yes.
in Walking Dead.
Yes.
Thank you, Michonne.
Andy uses, it's like a battle axe.
Yeah. It's around the head. It makes it look like a sphere.
Yeah.
With the ball in the middle, the way
Yeah.
the battle axe is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not little, and she swings it around like it's nothing.
Yeah.
I feel very weird right now. And the other thing I wanted to talk about too was they have a openly queer couple.
Yep.
Who are madly in love with each other. They do a little bit of their backstory by saying that they kill each other in the Crusades.
Yeah.
And then they fall madly in love with each other over the years. And even since the 1100s, they're still madly in love with each
Yeah.
other 900 years later.
Yeah.
But it's not I'll keep pointing this out as long as I need to point it out. This is how you do representation.
Right.
They're together.
It's
That's
not
it.
a thing. Yeah.
They're not pounding the door like,
Right.
oh, we have a gay couple. Like
Yeah.
there was a couple articles that came out that says a new comic book movie, The Old Guard has a openly gay couple, and I'm like,
and
it's so it doesn't I don't like it was.
it's more interesting. The
Those are clickbait articles by the way.
yeah, I'm sure it's more interesting the fact that they have each other, right? Because it's going on in this very small group of 4 people that becomes 5,
Right.
And the background theme the whole time is anybody you care about is going to die, and you're still going to be here for a very, very, very long time. So don't get attached. But these two have this, which is super special, whether they were gay or straight or whatever. That's a super special connection that they get to have. And then just 900 years. I love you, but 900 years.
I could do
And they're
900 years,
still-
but you need to be in another room for a while. We've been together for 4 months, and we had to get out of the house for the last week. Like, we went to the wide open of the Grand Canyon to get away from each other. You go stand on that peninsula, I'll stand on this peninsula. We'll talk to each
There's
other.
pictures.
There's
We actually
pictures.
did that, yeah.
But I just love how it was just a story point. Like,
Yeah.
It wasn't like touted. Like, this is a female-led action movie based on a comic book, and the 2 leads are women.
Yep.
One of them is black, and
Yep.
again, it's not pointed out. It's not like, hey, we have you're
Right.
black, or
Right.
whatever. And the same with this queer couple. They're just happy together.
Right.
And I really appreciate that they allowed that is becoming the norm.
Right.
And I just thought it was really well done. And then again, the set pieces were really cool. The fight scenes were really cool.
The fight scenes were amazing.
Their regeneration ability was cool.
Yeah.
Like subtle, but not like it's not like Deadpool. Like you're watching the whole
right.
close up and stuff like that. It was a little bit more subtle than that and stuff and that kind of thing. But just a heartfelt comic book action. I would say drama. I mean, there's some open, out loud laughing points and stuff like that. A good bad guy.
Yep.
He's a wash and repeat kind of bad guy, but the guy who plays Dudley from the Harry Potter
From Harry
movies
Potter, yeah.
is the Merrick is the bad guy, and he's really good, and you understand his thought process. And then we have, you're going to have to read it for me.
I can never say his name.
The bad guy from
Chiwetel
sure
Chiwetel
Ejiofor.
Ejiofor.
I got that one.
Ejiofor.
Mr.
Never say his
Ejiofor
name.
is a reluctant bad guy for all of the right reasons. He does all the stuff that he's doing for all the right reasons, and realizes at the end that he was probably on the wrong side.
Yeah.
And they leave this open for more.
Yes.
There's a nice bow on the end of it and everything, and if it's a one and done story, then cool. But there's an open-endedness to it as well.
Yeah, you got the end. You know, it's a self-contained story, but when it was over, you're like, I don't want it to be over. I want there to be more, which is good, right?
Yeah.
So you can have these, and maybe they'll take advantage of that and kind of drop these movies every once in a while instead of picking it up as a series. Drop these self-contained little movies every once in a while.
Yeah,
because these people are actors; they have other projects going on. But
I would like to see. Greg Rucka today said when he wrote the original book of the Old Guard, he saw it as a one and done line. So it was one self-contained 8-issue thing, and it was done.
Yeah,
and then they got done, and Leo, who's the artist. Fernandez said, I like to do some more. Like, I really like drawing these characters. I like to do some more. And Greg went back and looked at what they had done, and he said, I can do 2 more based off of what we already set up.
Okay.
So he saw it as a 3-act story.
Right. So they could do
and so
2 more self-contained movies.
They're doing the 3rd book right now. And so the 2nd book is already out, and so it's already the groundwork's already there. And if this is going to have legs, looks like it's going to for Netflix, they're going to be going, let's do another one. And Charlize loved doing the role, and she was directly involved in a lot of it. So I thought that was really good. So overall, I think we both really, really liked it. Like, I would go to watch it right now, but we have another series we have to finish. Do you want to score it?
Oh, okay.
We score movies, not a TV show.
It's a movie. Well, it's on TV. Everything's on TV right now.
You're gonna score it, goddammit.
4.5, because it was good, and we haven't had anything good. In a while.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. 4.25, but 4.5 is totally where I'm at. Like this will be just to give you a reference point. Like, we loved 6 Underground.
Yeah.
Now, we love 6 Underground for
different reasons.
For different reasons. For the Michael Bay of this ness of it, and the Ryan Reynolds-ness of it, and whatever. So we've watched that multiple times.
Yeah.
And this has got the same kind of level of set piece fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much big special effects and stuff like that, but this has got more heart and a lot more meat to it than what 6 Underground. So we will definitely go back and this is something we can go back and rewatch and still be engaged with it and catch new things and stuff. So that is our thought. Anything else?
No.
Okay. That is our thoughts on the Old Guard. What did you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. Like this video. If you're on the podcast feed, please like the podcast feed. We're trying to do more stuff, but it's just hit and miss for us right now, guys. So we're just going along as we can. Like this video if I haven't said that already. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and follow us on all the social media stuff, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All those links are in the description down below. And if we don't see you, cult members, good afternoon, good evening, and good night now.